Hey there guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Less Than Average Gaming. Today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make your very own thumbnails in Photoshop. So the thumbnails we're going to be working on today are pretty easy to put together and will look like some of the ones that I use on my tutorial videos. Hope you guys do enjoy this one and I hope it helps you out. If it does, make sure you drop a like and let's try and hit, say, 10 likes on this one. Also, if you want to see more tutorials in the future, make sure you smash the subscribe button and really show me some support. Also, feel free to leave a comment if you have any problems with this one. I'll do my best to try and help you out. Anyway, let's get straight into it. So the first thing you need to do is click on File and create a new document. And the width and height are going to be 1280 by 720. Make sure the units is in pixels as well, and set the background contents to transparent. And click OK. So we jumped over to Google Chrome real quick, and so the first thing you should do when starting a thumbnail is to look for a background. So you can find them by googling backgrounds. In this example I'm going to be going for a blue background, but you can pretty much choose whatever you like. You can use red, blue, white, purple, pretty much anything you're after to make your video look distinct and different, get people to click on it. So you can also search for something with a grunge background, which adds sort of effects and sort of dirty sort of effects to the images and textures and stuff like that, which look pretty nice, and they help the video and, the thumbnail stand out more. Generally be looking for something with similar measurements to your thumbnail you're trying to make, so 1280 by 720. Try and go for something probably between 1300 and 800 will probably do it. This is to try and stop the image from looking stretched once you've sort of made it for your background. I'm going to be choosing this one. So you right click and save the image as, and you'll just save it to where you'll be able to find it later. Go back into Photoshop and we'll place this one in the background. So click on File and then go Place, or Place Linked if that's what it says. And you'll be able to find your background that you're after. Where is it? That one there. To resize it, if it's sort of out of proportion or in the wrong spot, hold Shift and grab one of the corner points and you can drag it to where you think it'd fit and look best. We're going to go to something like that. Then you click the check mark when you're done. Next, we're going to add some text. So click the text tool, which is the little T, and click on the background. You want to create and drag a box. So you can type pretty much whatever you want in it, whatever you want your thumbnail to read. Try and keep it short and punchy to really get people interested in the video without losing their interest. So don't make long descriptive text on your thumbnail, kind of keep it short and interesting. I'm going to be typing sample. And of course you can choose the font you're using and you can change the size of it like this. So you can change it from 200 to 150, makes it a little bit smaller. For this example we're going to be going to 200. And you can change the font of it as well by using the drop down menu there. I'm going to be going with this one because I think it looks quite cool. Make sure you click the check mark when you're done so it sort of saves it there. We're going to add another layer and use the text tool again. We're going to be picking a different font this time, so you can pick something similar or very different to sort of compare and contrast them, make it stand out a little bit more. We're going to be going with something like this, and we're going to make another text box and we're going to be writing text. Fortunately I can't spell. Again, you can choose the same font or a different one to contrast it, or you can change the size and the color if you need to make it sort of stand out more. Make sure you click the check mark once you finish that one as well. So now we're going to be adding some effects to the text. So you right click the layer and go to blending options. I like to add bevel and emboss. Those are the default settings. Oh. Those are the default settings you see there, but you can mess around with them to change how your contour and shading looks. I prefer this one that I have selected there. It really helps bring the text up and make it stand off the page, makes it look 3D. Next, you can add a stroke to sort of outline your text. I normally choose outside positioning for stuff like writing, and I choose inside for images and stuff like that. It outlines it differently, so you can pick whatever you're after. Size can vary depending on what you're after and what you're trying to create with your particular thumbnail. I mean, I can set it to 20 for something that looks bold and stands out more, or I can set it to something like 4 or 5, not 45, 4 or 5, so it gives you a thin sort of outline which helps the text more, as well as the bevel and emboss helps the text stand off the page and give it a sort of depth. Next, you can add a gradient overlay, which gives a gradient-like effect on the text. So you can choose whichever one you're sort of after there. You can try to get different colors. I prefer to go with the simple black and white one. It makes a very nice sort of almost shimmery, sort of reflective sort of effect on them. And you can change the angle of the gradient by using the slider sort of circly wheel thing. Gonna keep it at 90 for this one. And you can change the opacity so it's not as obvious that there is a gradient there. So might leave it there. And lastly, I like to add a drop shadow. I usually try and keep the shadow smaller, but you can really make it stand out in the background by changing the distance to 0, the spread to 33, and the size to 33. But of course you can spend some time messing around with the different sizes and shapes you're after. Now to add some effects to the other text, you do the same thing, but if you're after the exact same sort of style that you created on your top text, you can right click on the one you did originally and click copy layer style. Then you go into the new text layer and you can get paste layer style. Of course you can sort of mess around with the settings. If it looks off, you can go back into the blending options and change the size of the shadow, the gradient, sort of mess around with it like that if you want it to look different to the other one. Of course you can also go back and do the blending options completely differently, so you can make it red, or you can add a completely different shadow to it. You can make it however you want to look to make it stand out, so people click on your video. So the final thing we can do to our thumbnail is add an image to it. It can be pretty much whatever you want it to be, so whatever message or whatever your video is about. So it can be a picture of a dog, an iPhone, money, or emojis if you want it to be. I'm going to be putting in the poop emoji because I'm a child. This time you can Google what you see here, so make sure you search for your image, whatever you're after, plus PNG at the end. This makes the background of the image transparent and actually usable in our thumbnail. So the same as before, you can click on the image and right click and save image. Jump back into Photoshop and make a new layer. Click File, Place Linked, or Place, and find your image. I think it's that one. You can drag it to wherever you want it to be. Again, to resize it, hold Shift and drag one of the corners. Of course, you can find higher resolution images if you weren't after things that looked stretched, like this guy. You can't combine too much with Google Images. Anyway, make sure you click the check mark when you're done. That's pretty much all you need to know how to put your own thumbnails together. Of course, you can mess around with all the settings and change how you want it to look and make the thumbnail your own. Now, I hope you guys did enjoy this tutorial. Let's try and go for that 10 like goal that I said in the beginning of the video. Also, be sure to subscribe for more tutorials and other content from me in the future. Anyway, this has been Luke from Less Than Average Gaming, and I hope you guys have an above average day. Bye!